Hello, fourth graders. I want to welcome you to a couple videos we're going to make. It will be your teaching lessons, if you're remote, on how to prepare yourself for state testing. Okay? You're going to look in your remote lessons for this week, and you're going to see state testing practice. Okay? I'm opening up my sample, and it looks just like this. It says we'll be practicing our upcoming state test. While the program's online, they will allow you to write online. There's no way for me to see what you write. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually copy from the online onto a Google Doc, and then we'll be able to go from the Google Doc back to that when we do it again the next day. Okay? So the purpose of these lessons are going to familiarize you with all you need to do to take that online writing test. There's different tools you can use and different techniques, and writing online is different on the test than it is on even a Google Doc. Okay? Just a little different. Okay? So go ahead and it says, click on this link, and then I'm going to walk you through these steps, okay? We're going to use this document to copy and paste our stuffs on. We'll be reading two different stories. One's a story and one's a poem, and comparing the themes. And we're going to talk more about that when we get to that, okay? So I'm clicking on the link, and it's going to take me to this. This is the website, okay? I'm going down. It's going to automatically be right here where it says English Language Arts Literacy Practice Test. Scroll down, click on 4th grade. You're going to want Test Unit 1. Now there's several different versions, so obviously we're not going to do some of these other ones, okay? We want the computer-based unit. So click on that, and then this opens up. It's going to open up Task Nav, and it's going to actually sign you in as a guest. Did you see that other window? That's what it's going to look like when we actually take the state test. But we're going to go in as a guest. So we're going to press Start. I have to scroll down and press Start again. Okay? And this opens up the 4th grade test, a sample test. This is not the real test. This is just a test. So I want to familiarize you first off with some things that are here. This arrow goes back and forth so that you can go between your pages. So I can go here to the next page, and go to the next page, and go to the next page. Oh wait, it's still loading, so it's going to take me a minute. So here it tells me I'm in Unit 1, page 1 of 11. I can go like this, and it takes me to page 2 of 11, 3 of 11, and then I can go backwards again. This is the bookmark key. I can bookmark a page, and then I can automatically go back to the certain page that I've bookmarked. Review allows me to look at all the questions that I have yet to answer. And notice here there's this little blue. If I bookmarked it, there will be a bookmark there. Okay? And I have not done anything yet, so I can always go back when I'm all done to a section I need to go back to. I can see what I've not finished or that I've bookmarked. There is also a pointer finger. That's the one you're going to use to actually do stuff. There is a notepad. You can open up a notepad and take notes during the test, okay? Which is kind of helpful. You'll also have scratch paper you can use, but you can use this as well. There is an X if you want to eliminate answers, which is really great because, when you take a paper test, you might cross out, oh, I know it's not that, no, it's not that, and you can eliminate down to different answers. Okay, so that familiarizes you with what's up there. So what I want to do is I want to just introduce you to the different sections of the test. It always gives you the directions. Today you're going to read a story about a girl whose family's from India and a poem that expresses how the speaker faces frightening experiences. After you finish the task, you will write an essay. An essay is a fancy word for a summary or a paper about a theme. A theme is a fancy word for the main idea or what it's all about. Topic sentence in the story and the poem. So they're telling you you're going to be reading a story and a poem. They're going to be going together. They're going to connect somehow. So you need to, if they ever put whatever they put together on that test is going to connect. So you need to be thinking, how are these similar or what's common in these? Okay? You'll have the story to read. As I scroll through the story, I can go to the whole story. Paragraphs are numbered because they might ask me to refer back to the number. And then there's questions right next to it. And I'm not sure if you got to take the 3rd grade test, because of COVID and all that stuff, but this is what the test looks like. So you can do one of two things. You can read the story first and then go through the questions, or read the question and then go look for the answer in the story. And it says, what is the meaning of the word drift as it is used in paragraph 18 of Just Like Home. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to go down to paragraph 18. I'm going to find the word drift. Here it says Priya, Enrique, and Farah. Now, if you can't read some of these names, don't get caught up on the names. Just insert your name, and that makes it a lot easier. They stood up and looked at what they had done. The pavement was covered in bright colors and shapes, triangles, circles, squares, and diamonds, all mixed together. Their classmates began to drift over to see what was happening. The classmates drifted over to see what was happening. I wonder what drift means. So I'm going to go back up to my question. Does it mean to consider? Were the classmates considering? Wandering, changing, or hovering? Well, I'm going to use my X. I know that it is not changing. They're not changing anything. They're just coming over. These little children were doing something on the sidewalk with bright colors and shapes, so we know it's not that. I'm not sure if considering, wander, or hover. Not sure. They're drifting over. Could it mean that they're wandering over? Maybe. Could it mean that they're considering over? That's kind of tough. Hovering over. Maybe. So I'm going to knock off consider. So I'm going to click off of that. I have a choice between these. What does it mean to drift? Think of any time you've ever used the word drift or seen the word drift. It could be a snowdrift. How's a snowdrift made? When snow blows the snow and the snow gathers. Does it mean that it's wandering over or hovering over? What would be a better answer? Well, I'm going to look because I think it's one of those two. Their classmates began to drift over to see what was happening. They began to wander over to see what was happening, or hover. Well, they're beginning to do this. Hovering means to hover, means to be right over it. So I'm going to see wander would be the best answer. So I'm going to make wander. Part B then says, which detail from the story helps the reader to understand the meaning of drift? So see how these questions are connected. So I'm going to go back to the story that tells me what helps me with the meaning of drift. Is it that they created drawings that have different colors and shapes? Is it that Jasper studies the drawings and decides they look like tropical fish? Is it that they make comments about the drawings as the students come close enough to see them? Or is it Priya smiles when her teacher and classmates show an interest in the drawings by describing them to one another? Well, what helps me understand drift? I don't know what's going on in the story yet, so I might want to read the story here, okay? So now I'm going to go, oops, I clicked that. I can't unclick it. I'm sorry. I'm just kind of clicking. Yep. Click it, click it, click it. I'm going to go back to my story. And at this point, I'm going to stop the video. I'm going to let you read. Okay? You need to read the story and you need to find the best answer for part B. Okay? Don't look at my C. And our second video will go through exactly that. I'm not going to read the story to you, the story. So the video is going to pick up with part B and then go on to the next questions, which is more questions about Just Like Home. So then we will do the next two questions together. Okay? And so then we'll see, we'll probably do a couple more questions because we already know how to use it. One more thing I want to show you about this is when you click on the story, notice how there is a highlight, blue and pink. I can highlight, and I can highlight it pink if I want to do that. Then I can highlight it again, and I can unhighlight it. So there's another little cool tool that's very nifty. Okay, so this is video 1. Get you through the very beginning of test taking and the first 2 questions.